is the JFJ Conspiracy, where the shop talk is rock.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Frank.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is the JFJ Conspiracy, where the shop talk is rock. Here we go, guys. Episode 7.
Wow.
Slow and steady, is like I say. We're doing good. Been putting these episodes out a little at a time, and hope everybody had a good New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nice and quiet, the way I like it.
Well, I think we were in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock, and figure, it's New Year's somewhere in the world, so that's enough for me.
Hey, not bad. Yeah.
And we lucked out
8:30. I was gonna say it wasn't even quite midnight on the East Coast at that point.
Well, yeah, Australia somewhere. It had
okay,
to be.
that's cool.
But we had, out here in the Rialto area, we got gunfire, we got M80s, we got dynamite and everything else jumping off. It was so cold and windy, not a peep. It was awesome.
Really?
So,
okay.
They'll make up for it on the 4th of July, though. So
right.
That's all
Yeah.
good.
We had fireworks going on.
Yeah. Now, are you guys legal over there with fireworks?
Not
well,
in Covina.
No.
Nope. Used to be.
fireworks are legal here
Mm-hmm.
on the 4th of July, not any other time.
Very good.
Yeah. we get the ones from Colorado and Utah and Arizona and Mexico and all the stuff that's not legal here shows up here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I live literally 5 minutes from the TNT factory.
Oh.
And prior to buying this house, we had a friend she lives down the street. And she said a couple years before we bought the house, it actually caught on fire and blew up and blew people's windows out of their houses. It was so bad.
I'm sure.
So
Sure.
Wow.
we've got our fingers crossed that they've, got that under control for the future.
Definitely.
But anyways,
gosh.
we've got 3 bands to check out tonight. I think 3 real diverse bands that I think the listeners are going to all enjoy at one time or another, one way or another. But before we do that, I have a question for you guys. It's a yay or nay situation, and I want to get your take on it. And let's start with you, Jim. Cover bands, yay or nay?
Cover bands. Are you talking about tribute bands?
Tribute bands, cover band, either one. It
cover
falls.
bands.
Yeah, it falls under the same. Let's go with tribute bands because that actually is a band who just plays one band's music and they act like them, look like them, and take on the persona of that band. So let's go with that.
I'm not particularly a fan of any one band, but I've been out and seen Beatle tributes. I've seen I've seen Cheap Trick. I've seen Tom Petty tributes. And if you're just out with friends having a good time, I'll sit through an evening of Cheap Trick, no problem. Doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go out of my way to hunt them down.
Right.
But if somebody said, "Hey, we're gonna go hang out," and hey, there's this Tom Petty cover band. Oh, okay, great, whatever.
Would you go to a cover band festival with nothing but cover bands all day long?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't even have to finish the question.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't
Well,
do it.
Let's move over to Jerry. Jerry, tribute bands. Tell me how you feel.
I'm absolutely for it. Santa Fe Spring Swap Meet has them all the time. You got Doors cover bands, Depeche Mode, Johnny Cash, Led Zeppelin. Again, like Jim, I'm not going to go out of my way and plan an evening around it. But if they had a cover band like Weekend, like the US Festival or whatever, and you're kind of in that general area, I'd go do it. I seen the Atomic Punks. It was pretty good. I seen.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm all for it. What's the cover charge at a bar that say the Atomic Punks played at $5-10? I know they play in Anaheim a couple times. I'm into it. If they even get close, and it just sparks a memory, I'm all for it. Yeah, okay. Why not? It's America. Yeah, let's keep rocking. Any way you can get there. Yeah.
My take on it is, and again, I don't want to rag on anybody who's out there performing because that's a number one in my book. But to me, the reason they're not for me is if you've got the talent to pick up an instrument, you can sing, you can do all this, but you have to be somebody else to do it and ride on somebody else's coattails to make a living, that doesn't get it for me. I want you to write your own music. I want you to entertain me with new stuff, because I'd rather listen to a CD of the actual band at home than go to a club or something anymore. And again, I don't dislike the idea of a band doing that. It's just not for me. I just happened to see a flyer the other day for a big festival going on, all 80s bands. I think it's Lake Elsinore or something, and it's just one after another, maybe 20 different bands of just tribute bands. And I couldn't do that. I'd rather listen to the CD of the music the way, I don't need to. That's the thing. Memory lane. I don't need to walk down that way.
Well, what about a chance to get outside, get some sunshine, get some vitamin D, have a hot dog and a beer?
And I can do that anywhere without listening to a band be somebody they're not. So,
well, now, guys, on that note, remember for my birthday, we were at that place and we saw that Beatles cover band, Lads from Liverpool. Didn't we all dig it?
Oh, it was awesome. And it
was fun.
But again, it was for my birthday. We weren't going there to specifically see them, so I see your guys' point. But we all loved it. Remember how good they were?
They were spot on, pretty much.
Yes.
My only thing, and I think I told you at the time, is in what universe is George the leader of the Beatles? And that's because he was the top dog of that band, I tell you.
Yes. But it was a fun evening, and can't go wrong with an evening of Beatles songs, right? I mean, and they played well. They sounded good.
Yeah.
Again, we didn't go there to see them specifically, but since we were there and they were on in that type of venue, they're fantastic.
It was fun, but it's not something that I would for if I'm going to go see a band or something. I want to see original music. I want to see what you've got to offer, and just not for me.
I've played in cover bands, but we were like you played whatever was on the radio. We went and played like junior high dances and high school dances and stuff like that.
The difference with that is you're playing a cover band in that sense is one that is playing several different artists.
Not just one. No.
And
I wouldn't go to a club to see a cover band.
Yeah, because you can get that almost anywhere. You can go to a wedding and you see a cover band.
Right, and I think it's appropriate for that. And I think it's appropriate. Right. At a local bar, you're going to go down there and they're going to play, covers all night, and they're going to do like 3 or 4 sets, whatever, It's not like going to the Roxy. I don't want to go to the Roxy and see a cover band open.
I agree with you there 100%.
For a national headline.
Yeah, very glad you brought that up. May 3rd over here in Montclair, Jack Russell's Great White, has an opening band called Love Drive, and they're a Scorpions tribute band.
Now, see, that would just kind of irk me a bit.
No, but we're going there to see Jack Russell. We're going there for that. Now, they just have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But if you're gonna go, especially to a place like that, now I'm gonna act my age. I want to go to where I can have a sit down. I'm gonna have a dinner, and I'm gonna pay the extra money because I'm not standing up for 3 hours to wait for Jack to come out. Okay.
No.
So now I have to sit there because I have to be there by a certain time in order to be seated and get a meal and get my 2-drink minimum on. Now I have to sit through this tribute band.
Yeah.
So, and they may be great. Don't get me wrong. No knock on them whatsoever, but that's enough for me to say I'm interested in going, but I probably won't.
So would you just roll in late to see Jack Russell's Great White, kind of roll in about 10, 15 before or do you have to sit there for the whole show?
No, because he wants a chair.
Yeah, I want to sit down.
I agree with that.
I don't want to stand up anymore. The last time I stood up, I think was Ace Frehley at House of Blues. And
I'd stand up for that, but
that was all good. But
Ace.
The band that played before him was Harless Sweetwater, screaming rocking band. He came on, played his set, played 30 minutes, and now Ace is somewhere on the 57 freeway. They don't know where he is, so now we're all standing there like
That's
sardines.
Yeah, that's why we love him. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Ace was late to a show?
Yeah, he was.
You are kidding me.
Unbeatable.
He was looking for some ginger ale. I just want a ginger ale. That's all it was.
I was on some diuretics. I think he said at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, okay, we'll move on. I was just curious what your guys' take on that. Like I said, there's a difference between a tribute and a cover band, and
I have friends who do it, and
I like it.
It's kind of a side gig. It's not their regular job, but they go out and
Well, there's
play the bars on the weekends and, rake in some extra cash doing something they love. I got nothing against that.
well, there's plenty of people out there who are making a living off of somebody else's music. That's kind of my point.
Not everybody's a writer.
Not
everybody's a writer.
Jim Frank's the artiste, so he gets it from that angle. I hit it from the fan angle. Yeah, I'll go see them. How much is it? $8? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's all good.
To each his own, guys.
There you go.
That's why we do this. That's why we do this, people.
Well, I'll say this: if I'm going to go to a bar somewhere and hang out with friends, I would much rather be a cover band than a DJ.
Yes.
Oh, good point.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at.
There you go.
I would much rather have a cover band playing than have a DJ.
Well, that's a good point for that because I don't want
Very
to be a
good
DJ
point.
anyways.
And nothing against DJs. I have friends who are DJs. You guys are great.
Yeah, careful, Jim. Careful.
I know. I got to be Mr. Diplomatic here.
But we're not trying to upset anybody. Remember, these are just opinions, folks. That's all they are. Then there's no right or wrong answers, and that's
No right or wrong answers.
and that's a lot about what we do with this show anyway. Especially with it, we're going to bring out these 3 bands and play a little bit of it. And let's start with you, Jerry. And you've got a band, and I think their name is Glass Radio.
Yes, and I love them. We found these guys off of Bandcamp. It's a trio from San Juan Capistrano. We've got Nick Bishop on drums and vocals, Nate Curiel, guitars and vocals, Kyle Corby, bass and vocals, produced, mixed, and mastered by Phil, the legendary producer Tegan. And that's what it says on the notes, so I figured I'd throw that in there. They're relatively new. They met, are you ready for this? They met in the spring of 2013. They all worked at a coffee shop in San Juan. Are you ready for that? They've got some albums out, some EPs. The first EP is Already Gone, released in April of 2015. The other EP is Matinee, released in August of 2016. Their latest is a full album called Time's Up, released almost exactly a year ago, January 26, 2018. And they're just, they got back to us on our Gmail, JFJ show at Gmail. And Nate Curiel, the guitar and vocals, is the one that reached out back to us or got back to us. We emailed him, he emailed back, and they have a new tune dropping in March, and Nate was cool enough to let us spring it tonight, folks. So I'm excited by them. They really, I get a little Zeppy feeling from them, a little Social Distortion. I get a little Joe Satriani, specifically from the Super Colossal album. If you cats want to listen to that, Super Colossal by Joe Satriani, I get that feel. Also, the vocals sound similar to Phil Mogg of UFO, but it's, in other words, I get these little vibes from all of it, but they're still very original, and it's just good old-fashioned rock and roll. It's a trio. You can't believe 3 cats can put out music like that. Catch them on YouTube and all the, Spotify and Buzzsprout and Bandcamp and YouTube and iTunes, and they jam. It's just fantastic rock and roll to me. To me, this is my type of rock and roll, these cats. And they got a show coming up January 19th at the Perk Bar, PERQ, in Huntington Beach. And I think after that, Nate said they have some shows coming in March. He got back to me. I told him I was from Covina. He said they may have some LA shows in the works. So, guys, if you have a chance to check out Glass Radio, do it. They jam.
All right, so right now
we're
gonna check out. I think Jerry likes them. We are gonna check out "Keep on Grinning," and this is a premiere. I believe there may be a little bit of it on YouTube already, but this is a little snippet of it. You want to get out there and pick this up, and here it is. This is Glass Radio with "Keep on Grinning." All right. Well, there's just a snippet.
Oh.
Keep on grinning.
Oh yeah.
You know, this is like if the White Stripes were all guys. You know, they're just. I like them a lot.
Jerry's in love. He's been going off all week.
I'm telling you. I just what a treat, what a jewel, what a find. Oh, love it. I love it.
And I think when we talked to Nate, he basically said you really have to see us live to get the full experience. And,
yes, and he included that little YouTube snippet because they're nutty too. They're nutty.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
What'd you think, Jim?
I'll be honest. The first song we heard from them did not knock my socks off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like thinking like, oh, okay, it's all right. I didn't hear like a really strong hook. And so I listened to this song today. I was on the road and I had gone to the bank and I said, okay, well, I need to listen to this. So I was sitting in the car and I put it on, and I was literally dancing in the car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh,
Oh.
what a great musical line, and the bass part just blew me away. I loved it. I was like, yes,
Jim's
this
the bass guy,
is what I
folks.
was really hoping for.
Jim is the bass player.
Yeah, this is something I was really hoping for. They would have something kind of hooky and very well done. I was extremely impressed. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of riff rock, and that's kind of how especially
Clean,
this tune here. It's catchy. You're thinking about it. You're humming it later, and that's
Yeah.
you know, that's what music's supposed to do for you. You know, is just make you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little chip on my shoulder. I was like, okay, impress me, and I was impressed. I loved it.
Very good. Well, that is Glass Radio, guys. You got to check it out. We'll leave all the links down below on the Facebook page and on YouTube, and we'll also include it with our Buzzsprout page as well, because we want everyone to check them out and support them. They've been really good with us, so we want to return the favor. Okay, well, moving on, changing gears, I might say. I was searching on Bandcamp, and I came across this artist by the name of Brian Thoms, and I put on the first song on his new album, which is called Everything in Between. And immediately, when you hear it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I thought he was going to do a cover of "Going to California." You know, the opening, the opening chords was like, "Hey, I'm into it already. I like it." And then his vocals came in, and this guy blew me away with his vocals. He's got a good, rich sound. It's well produced. The song that we're going to play for you is called Angel. It's got a list of musicians on it, and I will butcher their names, and I'm going to apologize now to every one of you whose name that I butcher. You can email me back and let me hear about it, because I'll just go down the list here. Of course, Brian Thoms is on vocals and acoustic guitars. Steve Utston is keyboards and guitars. John Evans on stand-up bass, upright bass, and percussion. Dan Foltz plays drums and percussion. Julie Wolfe is playing piano. Shayna Ivonik is playing violin. Zachary Ross is on guitars, both electric and acoustic. Liz Reed doing backup vocals, and also Amy Utston on backup vocals. Again, I apologize for doing that to your names, but
You're brave.
Yeah, I wanted to give it an effort. I get, didn't want to just say their first names and they feel gypped, So now they can say, "How about that idiot on that show? He couldn't even say our names right." But anyways, you guys give this a listen. This is Angel by Brian Thoms.
Me, do you still dream like I do? An angel, can you hear me when song to you. Light a candle late at night, I'll sing to you. Close your eyes and hold me tight, just like the way, just like the way you used to.
All right. That's Brian Thoms with Angel, and that's quite a departure from the music that I normally pick for you guys.
Yeah.
You cut it off too quick.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I actually could have listened to the whole song, but I wanted to be fair.
You read a lot of band members' names, Frank, and I didn't hear that many instruments going. Glass radio only has 3 cats, and then the room was full of sound. But I like it. I see where you get that going to California vibe.
Well, what's interesting is this is the first song on the album. I think he's got an album out, that one I was telling you about, that's got about 20, 30 songs on it, something like that. It's some instrumentals. This is not the best song on the album.
I like it, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of up-tempo stuff and everything else. But I played that one, like I said, it grabbed me right from the beginning because I had that I just love that acoustic feeling to it. Yeah, his voice is well produced. It's they're from San Francisco Bay Area. I think he had sent me a whole list of the matter of fact on Bandcamp. You guys want to check him out on Bandcamp? He left me the whole bio. He's updated it, and I didn't have time to go through the whole thing today, unfortunately. But
that's a good start, though, Frank.
Yeah, I want you guys to check it out. Get on Bandcamp.
Absolutely will.
And if you like new music and whatever, I've checked out Reverb Nation. I like a lot of the stuff there, a lot of the older music there. But you get on Bandcamp and you can purchase the music right now. You can purchase one song. You can purchase the whole album. A lot of them, and I'm not trying to do a commercial for Bandcamp, but you set how much you want to pay for the music. A lot of them don't have a set price. It's how much you want to pay for this. Hey,
no, you're buying this for this much, and that's it. There's no options. You're buying this bundle over here, that bundle over there. So, Bandcamp's great. That's where I found the Apaches.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff. So, anyways, Brian Thoms, I want you guys to check him out. We'll leave his links also on bottom of the page here in Buzzsprout. And again, sorry for butchering your musicians' names.
You did good, Frank. You did good.
Yeah, no. What are you going to do? I'm like you. I'm used to a 3-piece band making a lot of noise. And,
there you go.
I pulled this up. I said, "Holy smoke! Look at all these people." This is the real deal. They're well produced. But what'd you think, Jim?
It sounds clean. It's very good. Yeah. Sorry.
Did you like that, Jim?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. The guitar is really what hooked me, and the arrangement. Yeah. And everything about it. It's the kind of thing that I would love to listen to, like just going down the road. When I'm in the car alone, just something like that.
It's funny you said that. I was thinking that this afternoon. I said, I'm going to go back and buy the whole album and pick through it and throw it on my iPod, and that's a good driving sounds. You got some good tunes just to cruise to. So, and I also want to mention he's got another band called Skippin' Town that he actually plays in, and I'll be featuring them on another show. A lot more up tempo stuff, and he's not the main guy in that band. So I definitely will be featuring them on an upcoming podcast. So
good stuff.
Yeah.
I love good acoustic stuff. Reminds me of that song "Coffee" by Shake and Abe. I love it. Just good acoustic stuff. No, legit.
That had a good sound.
Good acoustic stuff.
I got lucky. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's my favorite.
Should I put that on Bandcamp?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
I think I have everything he's recorded. Yeah, I just love "Coffee" by Shake and Abe. People, just if you do yourself a favor, do that. Acoustic, just good acoustic stuff. Good acoustic lead. Oh, love it.
Okay, well, my shoulders are going to hurt if I pat myself on the back, so I'm not going to do that, but I want to move forward. And Jim, let's talk about what you bring to the table.
Okay. Well, I found this guy, Shawn Mars. Jerry and I are members of I was going to say a power pop group, but it's not a group. It's a group on Facebook, not a musical group.
Ah.
And he posted a song on there, and I was just really extremely impressed by it. He's a guy, he was signed to Warner Brothers at one time. He was fronting a band called Mars Needs Women. And so I went back and listened to that, and it was a little more grungier, a little more. I hate the term alternative, but kind of fell into that. Kind of reminded me of a little Best Kissers in the World vibe. You know, just kind of rocking, a little grittier. This song is a little. I don't know if I want to say polished, not polished, but a little smoother. But, you know, I've been going through Bandcamp and looking for different bands and this and that, and I'm blown away by how many bands just all sound the same.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
It just kills me. And it seems like there's very few people who just play hard rock, the kind of hard rock that we sort of cut our teeth on.
Yeah.
You know, bands like Kiss or UFO or Cheap Trick or Aerosmith, you know, any of those bands that were kind of staples of the 70s and early 80s. And this kind of harkens back to that a little bit, but it's got some really great pop sensibilities in it. All right. This song is called Jenny Lies. It's a 2017 release, and let's take a listen.
Here's Jenny Lies.
Just heard your favorite song on the radio, and then I had to change the station. Saw your favorite boy on the video. I think I need a vacation. It's over and over again. It's over and over again. It's over and over again. Jenny lies about everything, and she don't think so. Jenny lies about everything, and now you all know. Jenny lies about everything, but she don't think so. It's over and over again. It's over and over again. It's over and over again. I just saw a picture in a magazine. Oh, well, she kinda looks like you do.
All right, we'll stop that there.
I swear I've heard that before.
It is
Yeah.
very catchy. It could have been on the
Yes.
radio, guys. It really.
It's
It
a
had
total
to have
radio
been.
song.
I've heard that.
You know, we talked last week, kind of the Minnie Mendez school of songwriting. You hear it and you think like, gosh, this sounds so familiar.
Mhm.
And yet it's the first time you're hearing it, right? I mean, it's
Right.
just a very fresh take on, you know, on that style, I think. You know,
I like
it doesn't sound dated.
No.
It sounds
No.
very modern. Very
I like it.
contemporary.
I just want to make a point about all three bands tonight. Jim and I were talking about Bandcamp and you know, how much music not only sounds the same, but then you jump into the lyrics and all of a sudden you wonder what? Because the vocalist just sucks, you know. and I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna give everybody.
Frank, don't hold back.
No.
Let us know how you really feel.
I'm gonna tell you what.
We can take it.
The bottom line is, don't produce yourself, okay? Because you, as a band, you need outside ears and honest ears to tell you, guys, that's flat. Guys, that needs something, that one way or the other. Because when you play a song over and over and over yourself, after a while you get fatigued.
Start sounding, yeah.
You actually turn deaf to the bad things that you're doing, and you continue to do it over and over. Lots of bands that I started listening to on Bandcamp, oh, this sounds great. The vocals would come in and just ruin the whole thing for me.
Yeah.
All three of these bands, great singers and great the whole way they are projected.
The complete package. They all
absolutely.
sound very professional. Whether it's DIY or not, you wouldn't even know it.
No, and that's the whole thing. If you are good enough at your craft, you could do it on a cassette recorder. You know, I mean, you can put out good music on just about anything. You don't need the huge studio. It helps. It certainly helps, but it's not necessary when everybody knows how to play their instruments and knows how to sing and everything else. Anyway, I love that tune.
It, Jim. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's someone he's got it down.
Mm-hmm. You know, and that first tour he did, he signed with Doc McGee. He toured with Cheap Trick and Kiss, which were his.
That's not a bad company.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being able to tour with my, those were my heroes.
I'd be
so lucky him. Good on him. But he's got some other stuff, and if you go back and listen to his other songs, a little different than this. Everything's just a little different. He's got a decent cover of Turning Japanese, which
by the Vapors. Love that tune.
Which it's hard to top the original because that's
yes, yeah.
But he does a great job on it, and everything's just a little different. So it's not really too pigeonholed.
No. Oh, I'd love to find out when. Do you know when he toured with Kiss? Because the name sounds so familiar. And...
I don't know.
Okay.
It wasn't in his bio when he toured with them. So, but I'm going to go back and find some more of that Mars Needs Women.
Mm-hmm.
And
isn't there an old sci-fi movie, Women from Mars? So now
yes,
we got our cross modulation going on here. Yeah.
Well, let's see, fellas. 3 very different bands, 3 good sounds.
All of them good guys. Good picks. I like it.
And again, we will put the links down below on the page. So
very original.
We'll get that. Now, this is Jerry's pick for a classic album. Yeah. I'm going to just let you guys talk.
Darn it, Frank. And
I'm going to tell you, I'll say you after. I mean, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but we're going to talk about Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with Damn the Torpedoes. And I think since this is Jerry's pick, and I think he's the biggest fan of Tom Petty in this group here. And
well, you guys don't like the Eagles either, so
No. I could pass gas right now, but I won't.
Can't figure you two out for the life of me. But that's why we keep doing this, folks. We're on year 40 by now, I think. But Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Damn the Torpedoes. Yep.
Yeah. Talk about it, Jerry. Talk about it.
Well, it was released in October of '79, and 2 things I remember about it the most, just from hearing on radio and then the visual, is the album cover with that 12-string Rickenbacker. I just stared at it. I could stare at it forever. But this was the first album that came out after he had the big issues with production and management. And we all know his first couple of records, the Good Tunes, American Girl, etc. And then there's that lull where the MCA says, well, we're switching your rights over to here. You got to put out a record for them. And Petty says no. So they go through a bunch of BS, and then this comes out, and of course he blows up. This thing was huge. Again, October 79, and guys, just a quick intersection about how long an album is. This thing was 36 minutes, 38 seconds. I would have swear growing up it was 2 hours long. Anyway,
felt that way to me.
That 36 minutes, Frank, you're terrible. Anyway, Jimmy Iovine produced. They had some singles off it. Don't Do Me Like That was the first one, November 79, and of course Refugee hit, which is, the beginning of our junior year. And then Here Comes My Girl was the third single off it. It's ranked number 313 on Rolling Stone's Top 500, which isn't bad.
No.
It was number 2 for 7 weeks, excuse me. And you know what kept it from being number 1? The Wall by Pink Floyd. Speaking of The Wall, Frank.
Son of a gun. The Wall.
Roundabout. There we go. Pink Floyd, Build the Wall. In a Don't Do Me Like That made it to number 10. Refugee made it to number 15. Now, if you would have asked me, I would have thought Refugee went higher than that because I remember they played the heck out of that. But again, a good TP album is probably my favorite of all of his. I had Hard Promises after that. And I really didn't buy much more Tom Petty after that, whether solo or with the Heartbreakers.
Well, you know, Jerry, you also mentioned the singles. The other single, the last single I think that was released was Even the Losers. That's the only song
Australia only, right? Was that Australia only?
It was here, I believe, at one point, but it was a single. It came out as a single, so
really,
it was a song that I actually, liked. But you know what? Tom Petty to me is Bob Dylan's illegitimate cousin.
Absolutely, because they sing like this.
Yeah. But you know what? I like Bob Dylan. I'll listen to some Bob Dylan.
Now, how can you like Bob Dylan and not like Tom Petty?
Because
of San Diego.
Because of the lyrical content. This guy, he told stories. This here is pop music. Nothing against Tom Petty. It's just not my style.
Louisiana Rain isn't telling a story.
But
he was popping.
You know what it's telling?
Candy.
It's telling me how to go to sleep really quick because it put me to sleep.
Oh man.
Yeah, his music never ever
Frank.
hooked me at all. Yeah, I love the Rickenbacker sound.
Don't hold back, I say. Tell Jim and I how you feel.
But you remember I was talking earlier. I like riff rock. I like music with a hook. These are chords. These are jingle jangly. Hey, let's be Wilburys. This is what this is. This was,
They wanted to be the Birds.
Exactly, and they sounded
and said as much.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I love birds.
I don't have any birds.
No.
You don't have any birds?
I don't have any birds, Jim. And what do you think of that, Frank?
You're a good man for it because I don't like the birds either.
Okay, now at least he's consistent, Jim. Okay.
You're killing me now, Frank.
Mr. Tambourine Man. No.
I'm putting together a birds playlist for you guys. I'm going to make you listen to it.
Frank, Jim, I'll at least listen to it. Don't send it to Frank. Send me his copy.
I'm going to torture Frank with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be torture. Yeah.
Wow.
Who was in the Birds? David Crosby. Who else?
That's all I remember is that
on the spot. Now I'm going to be able to say it.
No, McGuinn Clark and what was the McGuinn Clark and Tillman was that? What album came out in the late? Well, something like that.
Yeah. Again, maybe not my time period, but I never liked the jingle jangly guitars, dudes. It was not for me. Yeah. But Tom Petty, oh man.
So you want to be a rock and roll star?
Yeah.
8 Miles High?
No, 8 Miles High. Gosh, no.
Get him.
Oh man.
Throw some titles at him.
Yeah, we gotta smoke a big fatty and then we'll listen to it. That's all that is.
Oh,
it makes you go to sleep too.
Yeah. Can't wait for them and Grateful Dead to tour together again.
I would never. Yeah, the Dead.
Okay.
I agree.
I'll get off my bird's high horse then.
Yeah, and if I'm lucky, the mamas and papas will show up and have some ham with me. I don't know. I'll pass. This is yeah, and they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You believe that? That's not rock and roll. That's folk music.
NWA, aren't they in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, I don't even get started on
that.
That's a future
let's
show.
not go down that road.
Oh no, we're gonna go down it. That's a future show. There.
Yeah, we will.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh
yeah.
It'll be the shame show. Is what
40,
we'll call it.
40-minute gripe session.
How long did it take Kiss to get in? I excuse me.
Yeah.
Ed Nugent isn't in.
Yeah. Well, Jim, you like Tom Petty a little bit, don't you?
I do like Tom Petty.
Yeah. And I don't hate him. Let's just make that.
You already blew it, Frank. Let's listen to. Oh, darn it.
Okay, as an album, I will say, I think "Damn the Torpedoes" is probably Tom Petty's most solid album.
Yes. Yeah, because it's got 4 out of 9 songs you can listen to.
No.
Wow. At 36 minutes, Frank, you can't sit down for 36 and play it all the way through. Just once.
So here's a little tale for the youngsters who are listening. Back in the days of real AOR radio, and AOR stands for album-oriented rock.
Oh, geez, there goes.
The
You're
DJs could play whatever they wanted. Within reason, probably, right? So AOR radio. So you said there were 4 singles off of this record, right? Refugee got airplay. Here Comes My Girl. Even the Losers. Shadow of a Doubt, Century City, Don't Do Me Like That, What Are You Doing in My Life? All those songs got played on the radio.
Louisiana Rain still gets played.
Because Tom Petty went in.
Oh, come on.
Frank,
Dude,
you better
can't
edit
know.
that.
Yep.
No.
You've got young rockers
This
out
is
there.
this is
That's
a
the mic
solid
check, by the way,
record,
people.
man.
That's a mic check.
Front to back, I think it's his best record.
It is.
Now,
It is his
now,
most solid album.
Absolutely.
Here's my thing with Tom Petty. And I like Tom Petty. I'm not head over heels about Tom Petty. Tom Petty peaked on his very first record with American Girl.
Yes, good stuff.
That is my all-time favorite Tom Petty song. We talked about the 5 songs we never want to hear again. I never tire of American Girl. And when that song comes on, I crank it up. And to my mind, he's never done anything quite as good since. But overall, for an album, I think this is his best album. I love Even the Losers. I think Refugee's a solid song. Here Comes My Girl. I really like Shadow of a Doubt. It's really one of my favorite songs on the record.
Legs good, yeah.
The only thing I don't ever remember hearing off the radio was You Tell Me. But that probably got airplay too. I mean, it seemed like everybody was deep into this record. But Tom Petty wasn't the kind of guy I'd go out and buy.
Would you go see him live? Would you want to go sit through 2 hours of a Tom Petty show?
Don't say it like that, Frank.
No. That you go to a show not to.
I never went and saw Tom Petty.
Neither did I.
Why not? He was so awesome. Why not?
Money.
Look,
money. $8 for a ticket back then. Get up.
Well, how much were we making at the dairy, Frank?
$3.25 an hour.
Cleaners, Jim.
And
how much were we making? 60 a week.
It's not that Tom Petty wasn't good, but at that point in my life, when this album came out, I was listening to British Steel and Hell Bent for Leather and Van Halen, things that rocked a little harder, And Tom Petty was a little soft to my taste.
Yeah.
No, but I recognize it's good songwriting. I recognized it much more later on when I went back and looked at it.
Well, this particular album, like I said, 9 songs on it. 4 of them I like. The others I don't particularly care for. I don't care for Century City that much. Never been one of my favorites. But Tom Petty falls into that Rolling Stones category of every album he did, he only had 1 or 2 songs worthwhile, other than this particular album. If you go back and listen to any of his other albums, especially
Hard Promises, The Night Watchman. Do you like that?
I like The Night Watchman, but what else?
Okay.
Not much. Not there's a
I'm
1 or
trying
2.
to think what else was on Hard Promises. There's another song on there I really like. But I'm a big fan of his earlier stuff, and everything after Damn the Torpedoes, I just started really losing interest in him, and until we get to one of the songs that I loathe the most. And should have made my Never Want to Hear It Again song is Free Fallin'.
Overplay.
Oh, not even just overplayed. I hated it when it came out because I'm looking at the standard of American Girl, and then I'm looking at Free Fallin', and I'm like, this is what you're putting out now, Tom?
Now help me out here. Which was the song about the one that he did the video with the
skateboard chick? That was that song.
Yeah,
that little girl on the ramp.
No, the one about going down the rabbit hole and all that other stuff. The Alice in Wonderland.
Don't come
around here no more.
Yeah.
With some sitar. Oh,
see,
I love it.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. I think she would have stuck with Jimmy Iovine producing instead of hooking up with Dave Stewart. I think it.
Well, that's why Dave Stewart was in the video.
Yeah.
Right. So
he kind of took
guy
over.
From the Eurythmics, people. He's the dude from the Eurythmics.
He just took over, but I don't know. I'm not like I said. Yeah.
Again, that got overplayed.
It became something else, and I like the jingle jangle. So,
well,
I mean, I like power pop.
It's got. I don't even consider him pop though, because he's more folky rock, and don't get me wrong.
Tom Petty?
Tom Petty's folk rock, yes.
Well, later on, yeah, but I mean, his early stuff, I wouldn't.
He was a wannabe, slight rocker. He was never a hard rocker or anything, but just good songs, but nothing. I think I do.
What about Running Down a Dream? That kind of rocks.
Yeah, it does, but it's
me and Del were
what else?
Singing.
Yeah, what else is on that album? That particular album.
I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I lost interest after.
I just have Damn the Torpedoes and Hard Promises. I said.
Well, and I'm not trying to compare him to say the Beatles, but I can name you almost any Beatles album, and you can give me the whole track list. You know,
And the
Well,
Beatles
that's
are
'cause
all
they're
jingle
the Beatles,
jangly.
Frank. They're the Beatles, Frank.
well, they're not
That's
just
why.
jingles. The Beatles evolved. They became.
They
They
did.
did.
They
They
evolved.
did, and
Yeah.
they did some.
they
They did
did.
some riffy stuff too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like I said, he's not in that. He's not in that category. But you know, and I'm not.
No, not a lot of people are in
No.
the Beatles category. No.
But I, like I said, every album I looked at of his that I went through iTunes and was checking them all out. Never heard of that one. Never heard that. I started listening to them. Oh, I know why I never heard that one. Okay, never heard of
Right.
that one.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's good that you guys like him. I like I said, I never would see him live. I would never. Matter of fact, if
Yeah.
there was any concerts of him on TV back in the day, I never watched them because he was low energy rock to me. You know.
Yeah,
So,
Gail's a little angry we never went and saw him.
well, Gail,
But
get
I
over
was-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Well, Jim,
never
don't tell her how Frank feels,
Yeah.
Jim.
never that into
You can
it,
take her
so.
to a Tom Petty tribute band. How about that?
So petty. We've
Yeah.
I
seen
think
him.
I already did that.
See,
so.
there it
Pretty
is.
good.
There.
Yeah.
There it is.
And
there.
my brother went and saw him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if he saw him at the last show or the next to last show when he played here in L.A. right before he passed away.
Mm.
And I think his very last tune he played was American Girl before
Ah.
stepping off the stage.
Well, I tell you what, no matter what, he's gone too soon. No matter what, that
Yeah.
was a shame.
God bless
That
him.
is a shame.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is a shame.
So, anyways, all right. Well, that's damn the Torpedoes. I'm sure, Jerry, you think that held the test of time. That album holds up today as much as
Just
it did
look at the
79.
album cover with that 12-string Rickenbacker. Oh, I love it.
Okay, both hands on that album, Mister.
And
Okay.
Louisiana Rain. And Louisiana
I
Rain.
never
No,
liked
only
that
one
song.
hand on the album. I'm busy with the other.
That's what I thought.
Louisiana Rain.
Well. So this episode, it's
Hold on.
Oh, you have something to say?
Do it, Jim.
I think it holds up.
Okay.
I think it holds up.
Okay. Not to change subject, but look behind Jerry's shoulder and you will see the JFJ Conspiracy t-shirt. Now, people, if you want one of those, you need to like us, share us. You need to leave us a comment on YouTube. You need to leave us a comment on Instagram. Subscribe, hit the like, smash the like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash
Crying
it,
out
smash
loud.
it.
Hit that notification bell. Subscribe.
Slap it up, flip it, rub it down.
At the end of a Slaughter album, I don't remember which one it is, but all of a sudden
Slaughter.
the album went off and then something came back and said, tell your friends about us. And that's what we need people to do is if you like the podcast, share our podcast with your friends because we're doing this for fun, but we want to see some growth in the numbers, people. So...
Well, I think the
Anyways.
holiday season slowed us up a bit, guys. We're to me, guys, Frank and Jim, my good buddies from school, we're progressing. No, because I went back and listened to our first show.
Oh, it's unlistenable. Unlistenable. It's like Tom Petty.
I wasn't going to say that.
It's like Tom
But-
Petty. Yeah.
Unlistenable. Yeah. I'm afraid to go back and listen now.
My gosh. No, my point is, everybody out there in conspiracy land, it's a progressive thing.
Yes.
We're all new at this. We're getting our vibe. This is what we used to do in high school, people. We'd chat like this, and we'd have the same arguments. We'd agree, we'd disagree, but we're all still good friends through all this, and we can all listen to rock and roll and still be good friends. And so
That's
my
right.
point is, what are we, episode 7 now?
Episode 7.
Episode 7. And to me, in my opinion, we're progressing. We're getting better each time. I had no idea going back to high school, class of 81, by the way, guys, all of us, that you guys didn't like the Eagles.
Would that have changed your friendship with
How
us?
could you
I had
not
no-
know
no,
that?
it doesn't,
Because
but I
I
had-
was,
had no
I
idea.
thought I was pretty vocal about
Yeah.
that.
Maybe I was still so in love with the Cars, or I don't know.
Could be.
I don't recall you guys not liking the Eagles.
Oh,
you know,
my.
I mean, I don't have any Eagles music, but I'm just saying I don't dislike them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I may have the greatest hit somewhere.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe.
Greatest hits now. Everybody has that.
when my mom passed away, got some of her stuff from the house, and there was an Eagles CD there. It's now a coffee coaster at my house. So
Yeah. Well, at least it's doing something useful.
it is useful.
That's
What if
good.
it was your mom's favorite CD and that's why she had it?
Then it
Frank?
would be my favorite coaster. That's all
There
there
you
is to
go.
it.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's talking about us having the same arguments for the last. Yeah, I
This is what we do, people.
I came to grips with my musical relationship with Frank a long time ago. Is that we love the exact same bands, but if you told us to pick your favorite song off any of those bands' albums, we'd both pick completely different songs. And the songs we dislike, and I'll ask Frank, well, what's your least favorite song on there? And it'd probably be my favorite song.
The one you liked,
yeah.
Just works out that way. It just works out.
Kind of odd. But
Well, this
different strokes, different folks, man.
Yep.
Our next episode is episode 8, and it's my turn to pick, isn't it?
I believe so.
I thought, yeah. And I was actually going to pick British Steel for this one, but you mentioned it, and so kind of, I shot it down.
So what? So that took the shine off of it.
Yeah. So
that shine. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Took the shine off the British Steel.
You're a genius, Jim.
I'm going to stick with the same year, 1980.
Okay.
And I was looking at all the great albums that came out in 1980, not just heavy metal, but regular, just good old kick-ass rock and roll. But we're going to stick with the heavier stuff, and we're going to revisit Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's, of course, the first album with Ronnie James Dio and that opening track of Neon Nights. So we'll talk about that the next episode. How about that?
Sounds
I love
groovy.
it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
So, well, if you don't have anything else, Jim, you got anything closing to say?
Nope. Just I think we've covered everything. We're also on social media. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. We'll throw some links in the bottom. Like, share, follow.
Smash
the like button, people. Come on.
You can do it.
Jim has made an effort and a pledge that he wants 2 million views, I think, before this is said and done. So that is our goal. We're currently 1,900,000 some odd short, but
800. Yeah.
I'd be happy. I'll be happy when we get to 2,000.
Yeah.
Shoot for that.
We'll get there. We'll get there, folks.
Oh yeah, guys. Work in progress. In progress.
Like I said earlier, tell your friends about us. So,
Yep. There you go.
Jerry, you got anything for us?
No, I love you guys very much. I love doing this, and I can't believe you don't like Tom Petty, Frank.
I like him. I don't love him. I don't want to listen to him again in 2019. But that's
worked about how I thought. I thought it would be Jerry would be in love with him. I'd be somewhere in between, and Frank would be like kind of indifferent. So.
Pretty much the same thing.
If I could have
decades,
if I had remembered, I would have put my Billy Bob teeth in and did my own very good Tom Petty impersonation. But
no,
couldn't find my top hat in time. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, if you don't have anything else, then I guess the shop is closed.
Shop is closed.
Keep rocking, people. Keep rocking.